Good news, everyone! I figured out how to focus stuff, so no more blurry videos, hopefully. Okay, real quick introduction. I'm going to do the whole line of Game Boys in one video. Okay, ready, go. Starting with Nintendo's original clunker, the Game Boy Original. There's me. Pea soup green display, real lovely. Came with killer titles like Tetris and Super Mario Land. Really, really thick. I mean, look at my thumb right there. I got smaller size fingers, but really they're not that small. So let's see. Compare it to the 4 AA batters that are sitting inside it. Yeah, it's pretty big, huh? Let me get one of the cartridges out so you could get an idea of what that looks like. Here's Tetris for the original Game Boy. All its original glory. Let's stick that in there, see if it'll actually work without me blowing into it. Yeah. Get the light reflected in there. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Turn up the volume. Which one's the volume? There we go. Okay, so you can see the green kind of display you got here with the original Game Boy. We'll set that aside over here. Okay, now we have, next, the Game Boy Pocket, a much slimmer version of the Game Boy. In fact, only takes 2 AAA batters as compared to 4 AA's. Of course, plays the same games. One major difference, though, this power switch is screwy. The screen is actually a tiny bit bigger, and it did away with the pea soup display, which is a nice thing. Then after the Game Boy Pocket, which I don't have one of these, is the Game Boy Light, which only came out in Japan. Basically, it was Game Boy Pocket sized, had the screen color, the pea soup green color of a Game Boy Original, but it used, did it use 2 AAA batteries still? I think it did, or 2 AA's, and it had a backlit screen. Yeah, that's right, it had a, well, technically front lit, but I always say backlit. It had a light up screen, which was a nice addition. I wish I had one, but unfortunately they go for a pretty penny on eBay, about $100 US. Let me reach over here for the next Game Boy. Oh, I put it like all the way on the other side of the desk. Here it is. Next in line is the Game Boy Color, which, of course, what does that mean? A color screen. Got the nice logo that pops up there, and what do I have in here? I got Tech Deck Skateboarding. Not actually my game. Come on. Ugh, got all the logos. The sound, where's the sound? Sound, where are you? There you are. Easy, medium, or extreme? Easy. Huh. Oh, it's got, like, actual voices. Okay. What was cool about Game Boy Color cartridges, I always thought, was the idea that they were actually see-through. Some people, it's like, oh, tough, big shit, huh? Well, I thought it was cool because you get to see the insides of the cartridge. I remember when they first started releasing Game Boy Color games, the circuit board always went to the top, but as the Game Boy Color got older, the technology got more better, or not more better, but better, and you got to start seeing less circuit board in here. Eventually down, yeah, this is about the lowest I've seen it. So you got this empty space up here. So I thought that was always kind of cool, see-through cartridge. Alright, we'll stick that aside with others. Next we have, of course, the Game Boy Advance. Starting off with, it skipped the 16-bit handheld generation and went right to 32-bit. Less than earth-shattering power on. I don't have any batteries in it. But I'd say about 97% of you viewers there know what the Game Boy startup logo is like. This Game Boy Advance system, the horizontal one, Still didn't have a backlit screen. Was the last Game Boy to take alkaline batteries. And the cool thing is, of course, how it used cartridges. Let me grab one here. Used cartridges, which are actually half the size. And I remember when this first came out, I was like, holy shit. I thought they were small already, but now they're half the size. So that's pretty cool. This system really agreed with your hands. I mean, it was very comfortable to hold. You got the introduction of the L and R buttons in the Game Boy line. Link cable slot didn't change. Nice speaker. Dirty screen I got. Start and select. Volume, headphones, and that's about it. The Game Boy Advance. And then, probably one of the coolest moments I remember, when they said they were going to release a Game Boy with a rechargeable battery, a front-lit screen, backlit, whatever you want to call it, and a folding top. This is, of course, the Game Boy Advance SP. These things were so hard to find when they first came out back in 2003. There's the Game Boy Advance logo for you. Let me turn it on again so you can hear the sound. Right. So, yeah, you still got your shoulder buttons, which are pretty tiny on the SP. Charger, external. No headphone jack, though. Very disappointing. Rechargeable battery. Button here you could use to turn the screen on and off. They did release a model of the SP where instead of turning the light on and off, you would set it from lower to higher setting, which was pretty cool. But like I said, I got this when it first came out, so it does get uncomfortable to play this for long periods of time due to the rectangle shape. But let me tell you, when the idea of a closing screen first came out, it was the shit. For me, anyway. And then we have the Game Boy. You're not a Game Boy Micro. You're not even a Game Boy. You're a rip-off of the DS. Get the fuck out of here. Where was I? Oh yeah, last one in line, Game Boy Micro. This, oh jeez, I got, oh man, I got sweat stains on there like no freaking tomorrow. I'm a sweaty gamer. Game Boy Micro is pretty cool. I mean, it makes my old Game Boy Advance games seem like new again. And the name Game Boy Micro suits it really well because it is so effing small. I mean, here it is in my hand right now. I can hold it like that. Compare it to the size of a cartridge. Pretty damn small. Shoulder buttons, they push on the inside rather than the outside, which is actually quite comfortable. The external jack / charger has been changed, so you need adapters for all those link cables you got. Tiny, pathetic speaker, very, very sad. Volume buttons rather than a volume slider. Hold down the L button to actually change the brightness of the screen. There's actually 5 different levels of brightness, and it gets pretty damn bright to the point where it hurts your eyes. This does have a headphone jack, amazingly. Even the Game Boy's so small, yet it has a headphone jack. That's real nice. Start and select buttons are kind of recessed on the side here, which is actually quite nice, I like it. Chargeable battery. And that's about it. Nintendo's really made a lot of Game Boys over the years. I mean, from the clunker Game Boy that I swear if you dropped it from about 30 feet, the Richter scale would pick something up. I mean, this thing is just so heavy, but it's got such a charm. I mean, saw stain on here. I got it on eBay. It really has its charm, It was Nintendo's first handheld. It was great. I still play a lot of games on here. I got Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2, Tetris, all the way to the Game Boy Micro. I mean, it's really quite sad to see that Nintendo's going to ditch the whole Game Boy thing. Apparently, it's quite possible that, this is it for Game Boy. You're not going to get anything past the Micro. Not really making games for it anymore, except a few handfuls of third parties. But, Game Boy has been through a lot, and it's going to be real disappointing to see them go. Yeah, so, if I got the Game Boy Light, that would really complete my Game Boy collection. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. No, not the newest double doors. Screw that. That's all really I can say. Thanks a lot for watching.